कालिन्दीति समाख्याता वसामि यमुना जले निर्मिते भवने पित्रा यावद् अच्युत दर्शनम् कालिन्दीति समाख्याता वसामि यमुना जले निर्मिते भवने पित्रा यावत् अच्युत माताजी's कालिन्दीति समाख्याता वसामि यमुना जले निर्मिते भवने पित्रा यावत् अच्युत दर्शनम् कालिंदी कालिंदी इति thus samakhyata named vasami I am living yamuna jale in the water of the yamuna nirmite built bhavane in a mansion pitra by my father yavat until achyuta of Lord Krishna darshanam the seeing. Translation and purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. I am known as Kalindi and I live in a mansion my father built for me within the water of the Yamuna. There I will stay until I meet Lord Achyuta. Purport. Since Kalindi was a beloved child of Sun God Himself, who would dare disturb her? From this incident, we can appreciate the beautiful spiritual processes executed in the previous ages by great souls. Unlike these so-called love in worldly love affairs, beautiful Kalindi's love for Lord Krishna was pure and perfect. Even though Kalindi was a tender young girl, her determination to marry Krishna was so strong that she arranged for her father to build for a house in the Yamuna where she could perform severe austerities until the day her beloved came. Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroh Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajata Sahagana Raghunadhanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsya He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. We are reading from the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 58th chapter. where Sukadeva Goswami describes how Krishna married five princesses. Already Sukadeva Goswami has described the marriage, first marriage of Krishna, that is with Rukmini Devi. Then second marriage with Jambavati, third marriage with Satyabhama. Now remaining five of the eight prominent queens of Dwaraka. So now we are discussing about Kalindi, then Mitravinda and all the other, Nagnajiti, others are also there. So Kalinditi Samakhyata Vasama Yamuna Jale Nirmite Bhavane Pitra Yavat Achyuta Darshanam. Here Kalindi was longing to have Krishna as her husband. And she had her father, the sun god, build a nice home for her within the water. So inside the water, there is a home. How many of you had a opportunity or an experience of living inside water? So we have heard from Kaliya. Kaliya has built some nice home within the waters. So walls made of water, windows made of water. Can you just imagine doors made of water, and inside that person is living? I can't exactly conceive of because we don't have experience of doing that, but it happened in those days, right? So she has made a home inside the water, mansion, not just a cottage, small room. It's a mansion built within water of Yamuna. So oftentimes people may think that okay, this is too much to believe. Huh? These are all stories. Story can be real also, story can be imaginary also. But people dismiss our scriptural pastimes to be imaginary stories because of lack of faith and because of lack of mm, like they don't find it realistic. Now, if I tell my grandmother who is living in one small village in Andhra that we can have a Zoom call where you can talk to a person, see a person who is on the other side of the globe, and you can have an interaction for as long as you want. She cannot understand it. You can have video call, right? Even phone was too much for her to figure out, to understand. But you can directly speak. He's there directly. Is it a video or is it directly person is there? Huh? I'm talking to that person directly now. What's the time now at your zone? So it's too much for no, some old people to believe. But it's a reality. Those who understand technology can believe it. Just like within the material circles only, some great things are unbelievable to simple people. Similarly, there are many things that are happening in the scriptures. We are too simple, we are too naive, we are not so developed in our consciousness, but we can't dismiss them as unreality. Now the technology is advancing and then many things are happening which are inconceivable to common man. So now similarly there are inconceivable things in the scriptures which are, we are common men there. Okay, so we should not dismiss them. So we should believe. Uh, so our faith in the statements of scriptures is the foundation for our spiritual progress. So whether it is philosophy or pastimes, to the degree we have shraddha, to the degree we have faith in the statements of the scriptures, to that degree we can advance in spiritual life. Okay. So now coming to this story, the real episode of Kalindi aspiring to marry Krishna and no one else. So, like even in Rukmini's case also, if you see, Rukmini Devi, right from her childhood, she has been hearing Krishna's pastimes. So Lord Krishna uh, is the prince of Dwaraka, right? And as a child in Vrindavan also he has performed so many pastimes. And although there were no websites or newspapers or WhatsApp broadcasts or communities, online communities, the news of Krishna's pastimes is widespread. How he lifted Govardhan mountain, how he subdued Kaliya, how he killed so many demons like Aghasur, Bakasur, Vatsasur, Vyomasur, Arishtasur, Keji, uh, and how he defeated Jarasandha 17 times in a war, and how he killed Kamsa, how he killed Kuvalaya Pida as a 10, 11-year-old boy, how he defeated Chanura, Mushtika, Shala, Toshala, Kuta, along with his elder brother Balram. So this news is spread everywhere. Apart from the adventurous superhuman activities that Krishna has done, his sweetness, how sweet Krishna is, that is also spread everywhere. And people of pure consciousness, they have the ability to relish the sweetness by chanting Krishna's names also, right? So thus, Krishna is quite popular in those days. He's a very great celebrity in those days. Okay, so that news of Krishna's activities and the information about Krishna's qualities is spread, widespread. And although Krishna appeared as a human being, there are so many devotees in those days who understood Krishna's godhood. There are some people who are in the category of avajananti mamudha manushim tanumashirta. But there are also some people who are doing manmana bhavamadbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. I hope you understood this. So there are people who are devoted to Krishna and understood Krishna's divinity. And there are people who denied Krishna's divinity and then saw him as an ordinary person. So there are some Brahmanas and there are some sages like Narada Muni and others. They would come to Kundinapur, Vidarbha, city's capital, Vidarbha kingdom's capital, Kundinapur, and they would enter the palace of Rukmini Devi and they would speak the pastimes of Krishna, qualities of Krishna. And Rukmini Devi would hear all those wonderful qualities and pastimes of Krishna, and she fell in love with Krishna. Just by hearing about Krishna, she fell in love. She never saw. Okay. She never saw Krishna's form. She never met him, but still she fell in love with Krishna as a child. And as she grown up, like marriageable age, maybe in her teens or whatever, very early teens. So her brother Rukmi, cruel brother Rukmi, wanted to get her married to Shishupal, giving up Gopal. Knowing that she fell in love with Gopal, who is also called Pashupal. Okay, Pashu here refers to our cows. Okay, not any ordinary Pashu. So she fell in love with Gopal or Pashupal, but he wants to give her to Shishupal. Okay, and after a long story, she finally married Krishna. So she could not fight with her brother, and even father also. He was favorable to her, but the father could not do much in front of powerful Rukmi, right? He had to just agree with what Rukmi is trying to do forcefully. So Rukmini was helpless, a small teenage girl who fell in love with Krishna but unable to meet Krishna. So she called a Brahmana and wrote a love letter and gave it to that Brahmana, and Brahmana went to Krishna and then read that letter, right? So Sritva Gunan Bhavana Sundara Srinvatam Te Nirvishta Karna Vivaraihi Haratonga Tapam. So just by hearing your qualities, I fell in love with you, Krishna. So the description of your qualities and your activities is nourishment for our hearts. So I have kept aside my shy as a young girl, and I'm boldly writing. Probably this is the first ever love letter written by a girl to a boy in the universal history. So she has done it. And Krishna, of course, Krishna is ready. He was telling to the Brahmana, I have been thinking of her, right? I am unable to sleep in the night because of her thoughts. Okay, so I'll come. He just immediately called Daruka and then got in his chariot and took the Brahmana also on the chariot and then ran to uh, Kundinapur and kidnapped Rukmani Devi, all right, and married her in a Rakshasa style. Okay, so whenever we have a deep longing to attain Krishna, to serve Krishna, Krishna fulfills that longing sooner or later. So that's the story of Rukmani Devi. Something similar is happening with Kalindi also. Kalindi was longing to meet Krishna. Kalindi was longing to serve Krishna, right? Become his beloved wife. So further, she was doing tapasya underwater. Okay, I would not meet anyone. Okay, I would not see anyone. I cannot think of anyone other than Krishna. So till my Lord Krishna comes and takes me and marries me, I'll just sit here and do tapasya. Young girl doing tapasya underwater, invisible to anyone, right? So this is the degree to which a devotee is longing to meet Krishna. And Krishna also loves his devotees. There is a beautiful shloka in Padyavali, compiled by Rupa Goswami. He says, Bhandire Shashikhanda Mandanavara Shri Khanda Liptangahe Vrindaranya Purandara Spuradamandendivarashyamala Kalindi Priyanandanandanapara Shri Govinda Mukunda Sundaratano Mam Dinamanandaya. I remember that shloka because Kalindi is here. Right? So Rupa Goswami says, I'm not sure whether it is Rupa Goswami. He's compiled the shloka. He has not written all the shlokas of Padyavali. So the shloka says, Bhandire Shashikhanda Mandanavara Shri Khanda Liptangahe. Bhandiresha. Krishna is the Isha, the master of Bhandirvan. As you know, there are 12 forests of Vrindavan. In that, Bhandirvan is one. Bhandiresha Shikhanda Mandanavara. Shikhanda Mandana means his head is resplendent, nicely decorated with this peacock feathers. Shikhanda Mandanavara. Vara is the most enchanting male. Okay. Swayam Vara. A girl goes and marries a boy because he's attractive. So Vara is that. Okay. So Bhandiresha Shikhanda Mandanavara. He looks very attractive by wearing this peacock feather on his head. Why does Krishna wear peacock feather? Anyone knows why Krishna wears peacock feather? Huh? Like one peacock became very happy with Krishna's flute performance. The playing of Krishna's flute was very attractive to some peacocks, and peacock offered a gift of peacock feather to Krishna. So Krishna honored that. Krishna doesn't deny any gifts that we give him, whether it is like a flower, patram or pushpam or phalam or toim or a feather of peacock, which is there in the tail. So a bird takes a feather from a tail and offers, this is my gift. That's all the birds can offer. Okay. So Krishna accepted that. Krishna accepted, and how much he honored that peacock feather. He kept that peacock feather on his head. Okay. That's why he's Shikhanda Mandanavara. And Srimati Radharani has a pet peacock. So Krishna wanted to impress Radharani. So he takes a peacock feather from that peacock's tail and puts on his head. Okay, to impress Radharani. That's another reason why Krishna wears peacock feather. There are more reasons. You want to hear more reasons? So Krishna, his body is like a monsoon cloud. His dhoti is like lightning that comes in monsoon. His voice is thunderous, grave, not very serious. Although he speaks very sweetly, there is some gravity in the voice. Okay, Gambhira. So he's like thunder, not a threatening thunder, but a soothing thunder. I don't know how exactly to speak like that. So uh, and his glances and his smiles are like rain. Fine. There is thunder, there is lightning, there are clouds, there is rain. But what is missing? Rainbow is missing. That is peacock feather. That's why Krishna wears a peacock feather to have a complete darshan of monsoon. Monsoon darshan of Krishna. Okay. One more thing. When Radharani comes and stands next to Krishna, Krishna wears a golden yellow dhoti that matches Radharani's complexion. And Radharani wears a blue dress, sari, that matches Krishna's complexion. Radharani looks like lightning, Krishna looks like cloud. Cloud and lightning are together. Okay, and all other things, their combined glances are like rain, shower of rain. Combined smiles are like shower of rain. What is missing? Peacock feather. So to complete the darshan, there is peacock feather. So oftentimes our pujaris put that peacock feather between Radha and Krishna. Krishna has head is tilted like this towards Radharani. Some pujaris put peacock feather hanging there towards Radharani. So like that. One more reason. One more reason you want? Whenever the gopis of Vrindavan come in front of Krishna, they don't blink their eyes. As you see in Venu Gita's first shloka, Akshanvatam phalamidam naparam vidamaha. The gopis are saying, we don't know any other purpose of having eyes other than seeing Krishna. The only purpose of having eyes is to see Krishna. So the gopis don't blink their eyes. Sometimes they would even criticize Brahma. Brahma doesn't know how to design human bodies. he should take consultancy from us, right? We are the right architects of human bodies. He has given only two eyes. With the two eyes, how much you can relish Krishna's beauty? So Krishna's beauty is so overwhelming that two eyes are not sufficient to look at them, look at him. And on top of it, already it's a poor design. To add more flaws to the design, he has kept eyelids. They're constantly blinking, right? So we're unable to relish Krishna's darshan. So whenever they come in front of Krishna, they just open their eyes, they don't blink only. There are eyes on peacock feather, right? They don't blink. So the eyes of the gopis of Vrindavan, they resemble the eyes on peacock feather. And whenever Krishna sees the gopis, he only sees their unblinking eyes. And they are worshipping Krishna with glances, with loving glances. Right? The glances of the gopis are the flowers that are going on Krishna. This is Pushabhishek for Krishna. We do Pushabhishek. Recently we did Pushabhishek, day before yesterday only, at GEV. We shower flowers on Krishna. And gopis shower flowers of their glances on Krishna. There is a shloka for that also. All whatever I'm speaking is based on shlokas. Okay, I may quote or may not quote. So coming back to this description, so Krishna sees that the eyes of the gopis are like peacock feathers. Just like the gopis never want to forget Krishna, Krishna never wants to forget the gopis. Okay, so he keeps multiple peacock feathers on his head to remember the eyes of the gopis, to remember all the gopis of Vrindavan. Okay, so what is that shloka that I was saying? That gopis' eyes, their glances are like bathing on Krishna. Fullendivara kanti mindu vadanam barhavatam sapriyam Shrivat sankamudara kaustubhadharam Pitambaram sundaram Gopinam nayanotpalarchitatanum gopasanghavritam Govindam kalavenu Divyanga bhusham bhaje Fullendivara kanti mindu vadanam. So Krishna's beautiful face is like a freshly blossomed blue lotus bathed in moonlight. Fullendivara kanti. Indivara is blue lotus. Kanti mindu vadanam. And that face is bathed with moonlight. Can you just imagine the beauty of that flower? Krishna's face is like that. Barhavatam sapriyam. And he also likes the peacock feather, which I discussed why. Shrivat sankamudara kaustubhadharam Pitambaram sundaram. Shrivat sankamudara kaustubhadharam. He has Srivatsa mark and Kaustubhamani hanging from his neck. Pitambaram sundaram. He wears pitambar. He's very sundar. Right? Gopinam nayanotpalarchitatanum gopasanghavritam. Gopinam nayana utpala archita tanum. Tanu is body. Archita means worship of that body. Nayana utpala means the loving glances of the gopis are like utpala flowers. So Krishna's body is worshipped and bathed by the flowers of the loving glances of gopis. Right? Gopinam nayanotpalarchita tanum gopasangha vritam. Gopa sangha avritam. Avrita means covered, surrounded. Krishna is always surrounded by Go and Gopa, cows and the Gopas of Vrindavan. As Krishna is early in the morning, he would enter the forest along with all the Gopas and cows playing his flute. At that time, the Gopis come out of their houses and they worship Krishna with flowers. Not literally, but the flowers of their loving glances. Right? Gopinam nayanotpalarchitatanum gopasangha vritam Govindam kalavenu vadanaparam Divyanga bhusham bhaji. So this is how Krishna enchants all the gopis with his flute song and his whole attire. So coming back to the previous shloka, we did not complete. While discussing one shloka, we'll go to a detour to another shloka and come back to the original shloka. So Bhandi Resha Kalindi shloka. Bhandi Resha Shikhanda Manda Navara Shri Khanda Liptangahe. Bhandi Resha. Krishna is the master of Bhandirvan. Shikhanda Mandanavara. He is wearing a beautiful peacock feather. And Shrikhanda Liptangahe. Shrikhanda is not the thing Shrikhand that you eat. It's a sandalwood pulp. So Krishna's body limbs are decorated with this sandalwood pulp. Shrikhanda Liptangahe. Vrindaranya Purandara Spurada Mandendivara Shyamala. He's the master of Vrindavan. Vrindavana Purandara. So he's the master of Vrindavan. And he enchants the eyes and the hearts of every single living being in Vrindavan, whether it is the gopas or the gopis or the cows or the calves or buffaloes or monkeys or peacocks or parrots. Everybody is mesmerized by Krishna's beauty and Krishna's character, right? So, and the beauty of the land of Vrindavan is that it is imprinted with the footprints of Krishna. So coming back, Kalindi Priyananda Nandana Parananda Ravindekshana. Kalindi Priya. Krishna, Kalindi also is Yamuna. Here one Kalindi is doing tapasya under Yamuna, inside Yamuna. And Yamuna itself is also Kalindi. So that Yamuna flows in Vrindavan and Krishna loves Kalindi. That's why he's called Kalindi Priya. And Kalindi loves Krishna. So Kalindi Priya can be seen as one who loves Krishna or one who is loved by Krishna also in one sense. I don't know Sanskrit grammar so much. So Kalindi Priya. Kalindi Priya Nanda Nanda Napara Nanda Ravindekshana. That Nanda Nandana Parananda, he gives the supreme bliss. He is the cause of supreme bliss of all living beings. If you are aspiring for happiness, Search for Happiness is the first session in our course, right? In our DYS or JSD 6-session course, Search for Happiness. So how will you get happiness? If you are really searching for happiness, you will get real happiness only in Krishna's company. Happiness is there in Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela. Right? So he is the supreme source of happiness and he's the supreme personification of happiness. Kalindi Priya Nanda Nanda Naparananda Aravindekshana, lotus-eyed Lord. Shri Govinda Mukunda Sundaratano Mam Dinamanandaya. O Govinda, O Mukunda, Sundaratano, one who has beautiful body. Mam Dinam Anandaya, give us some Ananda. We are Dina, we are very fallen. Please give us some Ananda, spiritual bliss. So this is how devotees pray to Krishna. Here Kalindi is sitting inside the water and then she's praying, Krishna, when will you come and accept me? And Achyuta Darshanam, Yavad Achyuta Darshanam, we want to take darshan of Lord Achyuta. Who is Achyuta? Achyuta. Achyuta means fallen. Falling. So Achyuta Pravala means flowers are falling or petals are falling. So Achyuta means one who never falls, one who never fails in his affection for his devotees. And Achyuta Darshana means having a great eagerness to see that Lord who never fails in showering his affection upon his devotees. When you are affectionate to Krishna, you will receive affection from Krishna. By the way, even if we are not affectionate to Krishna, Krishna shows affection. The whole process of Bhakti Yoga is meant to recognize that Krishna is affectionate to us and make an attempt to develop affection for Krishna. That is Bhakti Yoga. So, point is, even if the living being commits such abominable activities, sinful activities, and takes birth as worm in stool, or a dog, or a hog, or a insect also, Krishna, out of his love, never leaves that person. He stays right within the heart as super soul. Ishvaraha sarva bhutanam hriddeshe arjuna tishtati. He stays right within the hearts of all living beings and he directs the wanderings of living beings according to their disposition and desires. Right? So, but when we come to human life, and as a human being, when we come in contact with Krishna, Krishna's devotees and Bhakti Yoga, and Acharyas like Srila Prabhupada and his followers, then we have an opportunity to reconnect with Krishna, with love, to recognize Krishna's love and to develop Krishna's love, develop love for Krishna. So the whole mission of human life is in recognizing Krishna's love and developing love for Krishna. So Kalindi is aspiring for Achyuta Darshanam. I want darshan of Lord Achyuta. So whenever we come in contact with the beautiful form of Krishna, Govinda, our eyes are definitely enchanted by his beauty, and our heart is also attracted by his sweetness, and also heart is purified by meditating, by taking darshan of every limb of Krishna's body. Here she is aspiring for Achyuta Darshanam. I want Achyuta's Darshana. So, what is the effect of darshan of Lord Achyuta? Right from lotus feet to the lotus face. Uh, the darshan of every limb of Krishna's body has a purifying impact on our consciousness, as described in third canto of Bhagavatam, 28th chapter by Lord Kapila. So, what is the effect of taking darshan of Krishna's lotus feet? Sanchintayed Bhagavatascharanaravindam Vajrankusadhvajasaroruhalanchanadyam Uttungaraktavilasannakhachakravala Jyotsnabhirahatamahadhridayandhakaram Sanchintayed Bhagavatascharanaravindam. So, if you meditate on the lotus feet of Krishna, which are marked with some special symbols, Vajra, Ankusha, Dhvaja, Saroruha. Vajra is thunderbolt, Ankusha is elephant goad that is used to drive an elephant instrument. Ankusha, Dhvaja, a flag, Saroruha, lotus. All these some special symbols are there in Krishna's feet. If we see them, if we come in contact with the effulgence emanating from the lotus toenails of Krishna, that effulgence enters our heart and it drives away the thick gloom of darkness of ignorance in our hearts. So when we are seeing the lotus feet of Krishna, we are becoming purified of our ignorance of the hearts. That's the effect of seeing Krishna's lotus feet. And you see, uh, that from that lotus feet of Krishna, Mother Ganga emanated. So Mother Ganga, the river Ganga, is that water that washed Krishna's lotus feet. यच्छौच निःसृतसरित्प्रवरोदकेन तीर्थेन मूर्ध्यधिकृतेन शिवः शिवोऽभूत् ध्यातुः मनः शमलशैलनिसृष्टवज्रं ध्यायेच्चिरं भगवतश्चरणारविन्दम् यच्छौच निःसृतसरित्प्रवरोदकेन. Sarit means best of all rivers, Ganga. Yamuna is also best of all rivers. In fact, Yamuna's fortune is greater also. We are discussing about river, right? Another river. So, that water that is emanating from the lotus feet of Krishna, which becomes the river of Ganga, she purifies all the three worlds. She purifies all the three worlds, and she also makes Lord Shiva auspicious. Shiva, the name itself suggests that Shiva is very auspicious, and that auspicious Shiva will become all the more auspicious by holding the water that washed Krishna's lotus feet on his head. Right? So, Dhyat, Shiva Shivo Bhut. Dhyatuhu Manaha Shamala Shaila Nisrishta Vajram. If you meditate on those lotus feet that purify even Shiva, that make even Shiva auspicious, we will get auspiciousness. Shamala Shaila means there is a mountain of contamination in the heart. Okay? Sinful tendencies, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsara, lust, envy, pride, greed, anger. So all these are like mountains in the heart. Just like thunderbolt is known to smash mountains, meditation on the Lord's lotus feet, darshan of Lord's lotus feet will act like a thunderbolt that smashes the mountain of our sin, mountain of our anarthas. Okay, that is the effect of darshan. And similar purifying effect can happen by Shravan also. Darshan is two types. Okay, one meaning of darshan is devotional sight. Another meaning of darshan is philosophical insight. Okay, means you need like shad darshan, they say, right? So darshan can also mean some philosophical understanding, scripture, that the knowledge of scriptures that we attain by sincere hearing. So you can hear not only, you can see not only through your eyes, you can see through your ears also. That is Srutekshita. Sruta Ikshita means having ears that act like eyes. So you come in front of the deities, you take darshan of the Lord. Without sufficient information about Krishna's glories, without sufficient knowledge and understanding of who this personality is standing in front of me, I mean, your seeing is just like some uh, In Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's words, eye massage. Right? Or like you are seeing a beautiful object and you feel happy. That's good. Okay, this person is so nice. He looks so beautiful. He's decorated with a peacock feather and nice dhoti, jewelry, etc. That's all you will understand. You will appreciate darshan. Many times, many visitors come to Govardhan Eco Village. They see Krishna, they can recognize. Who is that? Rukmani, Radha, Vidlal, Radha. Fine. They all that also they can recognize. Who is this person standing next? White. Balramji? No, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? He is an incarnation of Krishna. Oh, is it? Okay, good. So they don't know much. So unless you understand the glory of the person who is standing in front, uh, you cannot have a devotional feeling. When you come in front of Gauranga, naturally your hands will fold and you offer a prayer and you offer namaskar, you offer praise. Govindam Adi Purusham Tam Aham Bhajami. Why? Because you have a knowledge about that person. Here she is aspiring for Achyuta Darshanam, not just to have a pleasant experience for the eyes. When you see something beautiful, eyes have a pleasant experience. When you see something ghastly and fierce, eyes will have a scary experience. I will not see that scene anymore. So, like that, our seeing of the Lord should not be an experience of the senses only. It should nourish the hearts. So, the experience of the senses, the eyes or ears or whatever, when will it nourish the hearts? When we have information, when you have knowledge about that person. When you understand the purifying effect of the darshan of the Lord, then the darshan makes more sense. Otherwise, you are seeing many beautiful objects in this world, another beautiful object. It's spiritual beauty, of course. So, material beauty agitates the mind. Spiritual beauty purifies the mind. When you see a material beauty, a person is very beautiful. A boy sees a girl or a girl sees a boy, and they appreciate each other's beauty. And naturally, oftentimes, the mind gets agitated with a desire to enjoy. But when you see spiritual beauty, you don't get agitated. You see, you become pacified. You become consoled. Your material agitations are consoled. Okay, your spiritual desires will be invoked. So the glances of Krishna falling on us when we are coming here in front of the deities, we are glancing on the deities. That's one thing, but actually deities are glancing upon us. So the glances of Krishna will purify our hearts and also induce spiritual desires within our heart. Oh, he's so beautiful. He's so loving. He's so compassionate. Can I do something for him? Can I serve him? So they induce, the glances of the Lord will induce spiritual desires within us, spiritual desires of service within us. Okay. So, but for that, we need to hear. We need to hear uh, about the Lord from a guru. Then we are inspired to serve the Lord with the guidance of Guru. As Prabhupada is writing here, we shall open a very Georgious branch in Kolkata. Kolkata is my birthplace. To all of you, as my disciples, do something unique in Kolkata. Uh, that will be fitting service to your spiritual master. Okay, service to the Lord begins with service to Guru. So, hearing from Guru. First, hear from Guru. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. You hear and serve Guru. So through hearing from Guru and serving Guru, you will be eventually be serving Krishna. And the service to Guru is service to Krishna in the ultimate sense, because Guru engages us in Krishna's service. Okay. So branch, open a branch in my birthplace when Prabhupada is saying that for the service of Krishna, for the service of Radha Govind and Gaur Nitai, like that. So here coming back to this point, Achyuta Darshanam. Here Kalindi iti Samakhyata Vasami Yamuna Jali. She is known as Kalindi. She is staying within the Yamuna Jala. And Nirmite Bhavana Prita, she is living in a very beautiful palace within the water, arranged by her father. And Yavad Achyuta Darshanam, she is waiting for the darshan of Lord Achyuta. So she is waiting for seeing the Lord. So when actually the Lord is also longing to see us. The Lord also is longing to see us, and the whole process of Bhakti Yoga is to develop a similar longing to see Krishna. Whether we know it or not, whether we understand it or not, our hearts are actually aspiring to see Krishna only, nothing else. Because any relationship in this material world, which is based on material considerations or material body, cannot satisfy the heart. In a relationship, we look forward for satisfaction. And that satisfaction is guaranteed to the degree it is spiritual, because we are spirit souls, we are spiritual personalities. uh, we cannot be happy and satisfied with any amount of material experience. Okay. So a relationship that is based on matter or material body and material enjoyment cannot nourish the heart. We are looking forward for spiritual relationship. And Krishna is the center of all spiritual relationships. He is Akhila Rasamrita Murti. After Brahma Vimohana Leela, I hope everyone is aware of Brahma Vimohan Leela. After Brahma Vimohan Leela, our Parikshit had a doubt. He asked Sukadeva Goswami, Sukadeva Goswami, you are narrating Krishna's pastimes, and I observed one important point. All the Vrajavasis are having more love and affection for Krishna more than their sons, more than their children. How is it possible? Is it possible? Like, generally, a mother or a father loves his or her own child more than any other child. Even if the neighbor child is more sweet, cute, and well behaved, studying nicely, respectful to elders, etc., etc. But one's own son is the object of one's affection, primary object of affection. You may appreciate the neighbor child because of his good qualities, but you love your own child. That's natural for any parent. But when Krishna appeared as the child of all these Vrajavasis, their love for their own children increased. And when Krishna was not there, Krishna did not come in the form of their children in Brahma Mohan Lila, before Brahma Mohan Lila, after Brahma Mohan Lila. All the Vrajavasis, the parents of Vrindavan, they are loving Krishna more than their children. They make some foodstuffs, offer to Krishna. Then after offering to Krishna, they will give to their children. And the children also have no issues with that. When the parents are giving priority to Krishna more than themselves, children also don't have any issues. Because children also love Krishna more than themselves. All the Gopas, little Gopas, small Gopas love Krishna more than themselves. The elder Gopas, they love Krishna more than their children. Elder Gopis, they love Krishna more than their children. Younger Gopis, they love Krishna more than themselves. So like that, Krishna is the primary object of affection for every single Vrajavasi. To put it in another way, every single living entity whose consciousness is pure loves Krishna more than anything else and anyone else, including oneself. Why we love many other things? Because our consciousness is not pure. When we purify our consciousness by bhakti yoga, by Sravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, etc., we love Krishna more than anything else. This is the subject matter of Sukadeva Goswami's answer. So Parikshit asked, how come Krishna is loved by all the Vrajavasis more than their own children? Answer is, it's natural for every living being. Don't get surprised. It's a surprise in the material world, but it is so natural to love Krishna more than anything or anyone, including oneself, when the consciousness is pure. In the purest state of consciousness, a soul experiences unlimited love for Krishna, unlimited love of Krishna. So, Atmanam Akhilatmanam, Krishna is the soul of all souls. Okay. Because we are amshas of Krishna. Mamaivamsho jiva loke jiva bhutaha sanatanaha. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Every soul is an amsha of Krishna. Krishna is supremely attractive. As his amshas, we also are little attractive. He is infinitely attractive. We are infinitesimally attractive. So we also are little attractive. So if you love yourself, that is because you are a part and parcel of Krishna, you are loving yourself. Okay? Because of our connection with Krishna, we are even loving ourselves. Because of Krishna's connection with anything, like every single object that is attracting our attention, is attracting our attention only because of its connection with Krishna. Without being connected to Krishna, without being an energy of Krishna, this flower cannot attract. That leaf cannot attract. So anything that is attractive is because of Krishna. Yadyad vibhuti matsatvam shrimadhurjitameva va tattadeva vagachatvam mama tejomsha sambhavam. Anything that is great, beautiful, grand, excellent, attention attracting, super, brilliant, it's only because it's a spark of Krishna's splendor. And why we are not attracted to some things? Everything is connected to Krishna. We are attracted to something and we are not attracted to some things. How do you address this question? The answer is, depending on our own consciousness, we are attracted by some things and we are repelled by something. Okay. That is because of lack of pure consciousness of Krishna. But when there is pure consciousness, naturally you don't hate anything. Just because this is material world, you don't have to hate the material world. Jnanis, they develop a lot of spiritual knowledge and they hate the material world. Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. It's all illusion. You may be disinterested in material world because it's a separated energy of Krishna and it has a potential to entangle you and distract you from Krishna. You may get disconnected, but you don't hate it. Just like you have some health issue, doctor told you, don't eat oily items, don't eat mirchi bhaji, okay, or don't eat sweets, don't eat gulab jamun. So you may be detached from gulab jamun, but don't hate gulab jamun. When others are eating, let them eat. Getting right? So aversion, attachment and aversion, raga and dvesha are there. So in a devotee, there is no dvesha and there is no raga also. There is no material attachment and there is no hatred for matter. He is detached from matter. He is not hating matter, by the way. If the matter has a potential to be utilized in Krishna's seva, he will use that matter also. Prabhupada says, some sadhu is hating money. Okay. Prabhupada says, take a photograph, make a mountain of money, I'll embrace it, you take a photograph. No issue. Right? I know the process of utilizing all this money in Krishna's seva. Don't hate anyone. Don't hate any person or anything. You must stay away. If you find that it's a potential distraction for you, you can stay away, but don't hate. Okay, because everything has a potential to be utilized in Krishna consciousness if only we have that skill. If you don't have that skill, stay away. That's good to protect. But don't have any bitterness or hatred or envy or negativity towards anything or anyone, because after all, everything is energy of Krishna. How can we hate Krishna's? How can we hate Krishna's energy? Okay, so Daivi Hesha Gunamayi. This Gunamayi Maya is also Daivi. It's divine. Daivi Hesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya. Mame vaye prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. Okay. So Daivi Hesha Gunavayi means you understand that even material energy also Daivi. It is having a divine purpose. The purpose of Maya is to test us. Then why acharyas are writing Maya is Pishachi? Right? We have to balance our understanding. Maya is described as Pishachi. Krishna is saying Daivi. Okay. And some slokas say, some songs say it is Pishachi. I want to stay away. Pishachi, Maya is not Pishachi. Our conception that Maya can give me happiness is Pishachi. Our understanding that I can enjoy in this Maya, in this illusion, that is the issue. Actually, Maya itself is that illusion to think of this material world as permanent. And it's a great source of my happiness. That is Maya. But the material world itself is not illusion. It's a reality. It's a temporary reality. In that sense, it may be called illusion sometimes, but actually it is an energy of Krishna. And if you have that expertise and training by gurus, spiritual master, then we will also be equipped with the necessary ability to utilize matter also in Krishna's seva, to utilize technology also in Krishna's seva. Okay. So, coming back to our original discussion of love for Krishna, Sukadeva Goswami said that, my dear Parikshit Maharaj, in the purest state of consciousness, every single living being loves Krishna more than anything else and more than anyone else. So the dearness that one has towards oneself is because of one's dearness to Krishna originally. And that dearness towards Krishna, natural dearness that a soul has towards Krishna, is diverted to dearness towards oneself because of impurity of consciousness. And another aspect of impurity of consciousness is that dearness towards oneself became dearness towards body. Why? Body is connected to me. Means we want more facility and comfort for our body, not so much for others' body. Okay, our body, because body is connected to me. And the dearness towards body is diverted to dearness towards bodily relationships, bodily relatives, bodily possessions, and material positions. Positions and possessions, they overwhelm us, right? And extended sense gratification, as Prabhupada says, the dearness towards one's body and one's self is diverted towards dearness towards one's locality, society, family, nation, Mera Bharat, Mahan. Okay, so it's all because I am there in Bharat, Mera Bharat Mahan. Okay, if I'm there in China, Mera China Mahan. If I'm there in America, Mera America Mahan. Okay, so it's like basically dearness is towards oneself that is seen as dearness towards one's country or family. My family is great. Yeah, great. If you're born in a neighbor's family, that family is great. Why? Because I am there. Right? But actually, understanding whether something is great or not should be in relationship with Krishna. Everything is great because everything is connected to Krishna. And every great thing, you bring all great things together, there's a hierarchy in that greatness also. But whatever little greatness is there in any object is only because of its connection with Krishna. When we recognize that connection with Krishna, then we become lovers of Krishna. That's why Sthavara Jangama Dekhi Nadhaki Tara Murti Sarvatra, what is the next line? Ishtadeva Spurti. So when a pure devotee sees anything in this world, he doesn't see those things. He only remembers Krishna. How glorious my Krishna is. So primarily, our love is meant for Krishna. Every single living being loves Krishna more than anyone else. And Krishna loves us more than anyone else. More than anyone else could ever love Krishna, it is more than anyone else could ever love us, it is Krishna who loves us. Means parents love us, friends love us, family members may love us, but the love that Krishna has for us is greater than anyone else's love for us. Because the love that we receive from other people in this world is restricted to one lifetime maximum. And even within one lifetime also, you can't always get love. You had so many friends, right? In LKG, UKG, first standard, second standard. Where are they now? Right? Sometimes people may have lifelong friendship, but it's restricted to one life only. Okay? But life after life, it is Krishna who is loving us. Sometimes there's too much attachment. In the next life also, the relationship may continue in a different form. Okay? But whichever life it may be, whichever day of Brahma it may be, whichever lifetime of Brahma it may be, since time immemorial, for the rest of eternity, we have an eternal loving relationship with Krishna. Krishna has been loving us since time immemorial. He will continue to love us for the rest of eternity. And we love Krishna the most, and Krishna loves us the most. Krishna loves us more than anyone else could ever love us, and we love Krishna more than anyone else. But we have to develop that love by following the process of bhakti. Right? By default, the soul has the potential to love for Krishna, but that potential is not growing because of material circumstances. The process of bhakti yoga is to actually invoke that potential to love Krishna more than anything and anyone. So Kalindi is not getting distracted by anything else in this universe. She's only aspiring for Krishna. It's Krishna, nothing more. Okay, I don't want anyone else or anything else. I'm just waiting for Krishna. And even if I have to wait for such a long time, I don't mind. I'll just sit and meditate on Krishna. As long as I'm meditating on Krishna and serving and thinking of Krishna, I'm with Krishna. And if Krishna bestows me that special benediction of being with him personally, physically, it's welcome. Okay. So now Krishna is the supreme protector. And within our sadhaka stays, now this is a very big thing. Kalindi aspiring to be wife of Krishna, that's a very big thing. But in our sadhaka stays also, we are experiencing a lot of difficulty, distress in this material world. Anyone who is always happy in the material world? No one, right? But it is Krishna who is our best friend, who can understand our situation, who can help us. If you take the example of Gajendra, I'll conclude in 1 or 2 minutes. If you take the example of Gajendra, Gajendra is caught by this crocodile. We are also caught by crocodile of Maya, by the way. Okay, Gajendra is caught by this crocodile. And the Devatas are seeing this fight of Gajendra, 1,000 years fight. They are watching, but they could not come and help. And not that they could not come, they did not come. And the elephants were watching the fight. They wanted to help, they could not help. They didn't have the ability. So the elephants, elephant friends of Gajendra did not have the ability to help him. And the Devatas who were watching the whole fight, they did not have the intention to help him. For me to receive help from someone, that someone should have the ability and intention, okay, or cognizance and compassion, or capacity and compassion. He should be capable of serving me, helping me. He should be compassionate to help me. Okay, then only he can help me. The third point is he should be aware that I am also in struggle. So the devatas are aware, and elephants are also aware. But the devatas did not have the intention, although they have ability. And these elephants, they did not have the ability, although they have intention. But all three only Krishna has. He had the ability, he has the intention, and he has the awareness. He has the cognizance, he has the compassion, and he has the capacity. Capacity, compassion, cognizance, all three are there only in Krishna. He came to protect Gajendra. So he's the worthiest master, worthiest friend in whom we can invest our emotions, love, affection, everything, and he reciprocates. Madrik prapanna pashupasha vimokshanaya muktaya bhuri karunaya namolayaya स्वांशेन सर्वतनुभृन्मनसि प्रतीता प्रत्यग्दृशे भगवते बृहते नमस्ते. So Gajendra is saying, Madrik Prapanna Pashupasha Vimokshanaya. Whoever surrenders unto you, whoever longs for your love, you will definitely liberate them from material miseries and entanglement, because you are Muktaya. You yourself are liberated. You have the capacity to protect us. Bhure Karunaya, you have the compassion to protect us. Alayaya, you are never indifferent to the situation of your devotees. You are aware of our situation. And you are Achyuta, you never fails in your affection for your devotees. You are aware, you are able, and you have intention to serve us. Okay, because you are staying right within our hearts as the super soul. So in this way, whenever a devotee longs to attain Krishna, it is Krishna who is willing to reciprocate with that longing and fulfill the desires of his devotees. So we can even experience that even in sadhaka stage, we can long for Krishna's grace and Krishna will shower it. Okay. Thank you very much. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yes, questions. Ananta Gautama. Hare Krishna. Can be both. There's a presiding deity, personified river. So when she comes in a female form, okay, that is personified river, and the river itself is her form also. It's like Vishwarupa is there, right? Entire material universe is my form, Krishna says. So he showed everything at one place, Vishwarupa Darshan, and entire universe is also form of Krishna. So something like that, if that made sense. Yeah. Mhm. Yes, yes. Mhm. Even from the same author, at least Chaitanya Bhagavat and Chaitanya Charitamrita are from different authors. Even the same author writes different details. Vyasadeva wrote Mahabharat, Vyasadeva wrote Srimad Bhagavatam. The details are little different. And it's a often asked question. How do we reconcile the differences in the details of the certain pastimes presented in multiple books? Multiple versions are coming. One answer that I got from Radha Gopinath Prabhu, senior devotees, is that every book is written for a purpose. Okay, every book has certain audience. So Mahabharat's focus is Dharmartha Kama Moksha. Now, next question is, how can you interpret the uh, uh, pastime in a certain way? Okay, interpretation is still okay. How can you change the details of the pastime, which is right? That's a question. And that too, at the same kalpa, same yuga, the same pastime is explained in different ways. I don't exactly know how to explain that. Okay. But one thing is sure, when a pastime is described by one author or one speaker in a certain way, he's seeing from that angle. Okay. This angle is correct, that angle is also correct. This perspective is correct, that perspective is also correct. So when this book, you may see Krishna and Balram jumping from Pravasana mountain, okay, which is like 8 miles long, something like that, okay. And I can see 22nd shloka, Kalindi Samakhyata Vasami. So both are there in the same book. I'm seeing from this direction, you are seeing from that direction. So like that, one pastime could be explained uh, by multiple people in different ways. They see from different perspectives. uh, that is understandable, but as far as the details are concerned, I'm also not fully sure how the pastime could, or probably some author must have observed some details which author must have skipped. Okay, but if it is the total change itself, I don't know how to explain. Probably can explain, or someone else can explain. Hmm. Like that's why, uh, like we may not be exactly figuring out uh, in terms of details, what is right and what is wrong, what is accurate and what is inaccurate, but we can see the philosophy there. Is it aligning with Siddhanta? Krishna can do this pastime also, Krishna can do that pastime also. Krishna can simultaneously be there at two places and do two different pastimes observed by two different devotees, and they can record in a certain way. We may not doubt the author or doubt the Shastra. We can see it as variety more than contradiction. Same shloka is explained by different acharyas in different ways, exactly opposite explanations also sometimes. You can see one typical example is Karmanyani bhavo bhavasyati 3.4.16. Prabhupada gives a purport, Chakravarti gives somewhat opposite. Right? So Prabhupada says, yeah, we can understand. Chakravarti says, we cannot understand. Okay, Krishna's contradiction in Krishna's qualities. Yeah, you see, don't see as a contradiction in explanations, you see as a variety. It's variety. So Krishna can simultaneously perform two different pastimes and multiple levels. Okay. Now, Garga Samhita is presenting Vrindavan pastimes of Krishna with some Aishwarya flavor. It presents Krishna's marriages with the gopis. Okay. And you see some Gopal Champu, Anand Vrindavan Champu, that pure Madhurya flavor without any Aishwarya flavor. So the flavor also matters. Okay, when the same pastimes of Krishna is seen in a different flavor, those kind of details will come, and Krishna can reveal those details to one person according to his consciousness. He can reveal a totally different detail to another person while simultaneously doing the same pastime. Like Krishna, while lifting Govardhan, he is facing one side and lifting Govardhan mountain, and all the Vrajavasis are here. And there are some Vrajavasis behind him also. They are also having the same experience of seeing Krishna and smiling. And one devotee says, Krishna is smiling at me. Krishna is looking at me. Other devotee is behind, 1 kilometer behind Krishna. He also says, Krishna is smiling at me at the same time. So Krishna can simultaneously perform uh, different pastimes with different devotees at the same time. He's there everywhere. Now there's Rasalila, right? You see Rasalila. Krishna expanded himself into millions of forms and danced with millions of gopis. But Krishna, in one form, he is dancing with all the gopis simultaneously. At any given moment, Krishna is dancing with every single gopi, one in one form. How do you understand that? I can explain with the example given by, give me some rope or something like that. Rope or some, kartal, you give. Kartal is too heavy. So, in one form, Krishna is there everywhere. This is the example of Alata Chakra. Imagine there is a fire here. Okay. I do like this. You can see fire at every point in the circle, circumference of the circle. It is so fast. You are seeing it's a fire circle. It's not a fire circle. When I stop it, you will see fire hanging from here. But when I do like this, you can see a fire circle, isn't it? It's called Alata Chakra, example given by Acharyas. So Mahaprabhu is simultaneously dancing in all 7 uh, groups, kirtan groups, either in 7 forms or in 1 form. He's dancing so fast. Okay. So Krishna also doing same pastime, different pastimes with same devotees in different ways. When Krishna went to Ayodhya, he had to meet 2 devotees. You know, in the 10th canto, after some time it will come. Srutadeva and Bahulashva. Okay. So Bahulashva is a king and Srutadeva is a small Brahmana. So Krishna is accompanied by so many sages. Narada Muni, Vyasadeva, Sukadeva Goswami, so many people are there. So Krishna went to both places simultaneously and eating different menus. Okay. And in the king's house, he's sitting on a throne. In the Brahmana's house, he was sitting on a small mat. And that Brahmana is so poor that he doesn't have sufficient mats to give all the sages also. He borrowed from the neighboring houses and then he gave kusha grass mats to everyone. At the same time, now if I say Krishna ate paneer sabji, I'm right. When you say Krishna ate dudhi sabji, you are also right. And you are saying at the same time, at the same date, Krishna ate dudhi sabji. I am also saying the same thing. At the same time, same date, Krishna ate paneer sabji with him. It is, both are perfectly all right. So Krishna can do multiple pastimes and they are revealed to different authors in different ways. And coming to devotees, okay, Krishna we understand. What about devotees? Can they do multiple pastimes? Yeah, when Krishna expanded himself into 2 forms to go to Srutadeva and Bahulashva, all the sages next to Krishna, they also expanded themselves into 2 forms. 2 Sukadeva Goswamis, 2 Vyasadevas, 2 Narada Munis. Okay, sometimes it is 2, sometimes it is 10. Sometimes it is 1 million. Okay, Prabhupada is here also. Prabhupada is there also. So this may be one possible explanation for that difference in details. Okay, I hope it makes some sense. But there could be more to it. You can ask some senior devotees for reconciliation. But generally, I don't look for too much reconciliation in these matters. I relish. Whether to relish or reconcile. Sometimes we, in the mood of reconciliation, we stop relishing. Relish this also, relish that also. Relish whichever you like most, according to your consciousness, according to your mood. Both are Krishna Katha. Okay. But if we get too much into technical details, we start doubting the Shastra and then doubting the authors there, spiritual authors, acharyas there, and we may miss the nourishment. Okay. As long as they are aligning with the Siddhanta, let's relish. Makes sense. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Any other question or comment? Okay. Thank you. I don't know if we have time. Whatever Prabhuji says. Mm. Uh, it's not that we endeavor for material faith or spiritual faith or like faith in a more intellectual manner and faith in a more heartfelt manner. Uh, it's our personality. Some people are more excited to know certain details. Cosmology, they get excited.
Okay, teachings of Lord Kapila, they get excited. I know some devotees, they read till 9th canto, they skipped 10th canto, went to 11th canto. Why? The reason is 10th canto, I know all the poems, I read Krishna book, I keep hearing also. Knowing, I know the stories, it's okay, I want to read Uddhava Gita. I want to read Nimi Navayogendra Samvad. I want to know what's this Varnashram. I don't know what's this Karma Yoga, Gnana Yoga, Kriya Yoga, this yoga. Fine, go ahead, please. So nothing to minimize. Everything is part of Bhagavatam. But some people have more intellectual bent, philosophical bent. Okay, so you can connect with Krishna in 3 levels. 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Mayyeva mana adhatsva mayi buddhim niveshaya. What is Krishna saying? Mayyeva mana adhatsva means you connect with me through your mind. Invest your mind's emotions, feelings, and love for me. So that is called smaranatmika bhakti. If you cannot do that, next step. Maranatmika bhakti. That is mayi buddhim niveshaya. You try to understand me, my tattva, my godhood by your buddhi. Okay. So mana adhatsva is not happening. At least buddhim nivesha you can do. If you cannot appreciate Krishna's sweetness with your heartfelt emotions and love, you don't have that stage, then at least understand intellectually. The gopis of Vrindavan, they may not understand Krishna's godhood so much. They may, but they don't pay so much heed to Krishna's godhood. Whether you are God or not, we love you. That is their style. Okay. Uh, Even if Krishna does superhuman activities, Mother Yashoda wants to raise him as a good human being. Right? My child should learn discipline. He should be very cultured, and we should be gentle. He should not be naughty, etc. That is Mother Yashoda's love. So they love Krishna for what Krishna is, not because Krishna is a creator, maintainer, destroyer, proprietor, master, controller, etc., etc. They keep aside Krishna's godhood and love Krishna. But some people, they love Krishna or they serve Krishna only when you convince him that Krishna is God. So many questions. Why Krishna? Why not Vishnu? Somebody asked in our devotees class, whose name should we chant? Whose name is greater? Krishna's name or Vishnu's name? Too much. He's too aggressive. And this devotee asked him, whose name do you chant? He said, neither. क्या फर्क पड़ता है? Right? He just wants to argue. Whether Krishna is great or Vishnu is great, he just wants to argue to understand intellectually. He chants no one's name. Right? So, like some people have an intellectual bent, philosophical bent. Unless they are convinced about it, they may not take up to bhakti. So, just understand what is your personality. Like what? If you have simple faith, not blind faith, simple faith. The difference between blind faith and simple faith. Okay, if you have simple faith, you understand philosophy, basic philosophy, Prabhupada's books and all that. You don't have great excitement to explore too much of dense philosophy by studying all kinds of books. Fine, continue with bhakti. Krishna will accept us. You don't have to be a scholar. South Indian Brahmana, he just had faith in Guru. Guru told, read Bhagavad Gita, he's reading. And when he opens Bhagavad Gita, he just remembers Krishna, how Krishna drove the chariot of Arjuna, how much love my Lord has for his devotees. And he has tears in his eyes. He did not read all the slokas, by the way. Right? But Mahaprabhu said, my dear South Indian Brahmana, Srirangam Brahmana, whatever you understood from Bhagavad Gita is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. How can the understanding of an illiterate person who did not even completely or even partially read Bhagavad Gita understand the essence of Bhagavad Gita, and whatever he understood is the essence of Bhagavad Gita? He puts it in a different way. Mahaprabhu did not say, you know the essence. He did not say that. Whatever you know is the essence. Getting right? There is a difference between these two statements. Whatever South Indian Brahmana knows, that is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. He did not even read completely, even partially. So they have simple faith. They have simple love for Krishna. But some people, unless you convince them, they cannot take it. So you understand what is your personality. You can have both. For preaching purposes, okay, you can read multiple things. But point is, Bahushastra Bahuvakya Chitte Brahma hai. Right? So if you read too many books, mind will get bewildered. Right? What is sadhana, what is sadhya, you cannot figure out. Don't become too eager and enthusiastic to read too much and at the cost of missing the essence. Let us be Saragrahis, not Bharavahis. Saragrahi means essence seeker. Bharavahi means burden carrier. Right? You don't carry the burden of so much knowledge, okay, and do nothing with it. Okay, you analyze so much and then you don't do much about it. But you better seek the essence and then move ahead. Somebody asked, Prachetas are pure devotees. They are doing water. They are doing tapasya underwater. What happened to all the swans and chakravaka birds that were frolicking in that waters of that lake in which Prachetas are doing? What happened to the dog that is walking behind Rishabhadev? What happened to the deer on whom Bharat Maharaj showed so much affection? Yeah, they came in contact with pure devotees, right? So there should be something. Something must have happened. If it's an important detail, Acharyas would have given it. Sukadeva Goswami must have spoken it. Okay. In Kolkata only, one devotee asked here, what to do when all details are not given here? I was saying, whatever is given here, must understand that and apply that. Right. So, makes sense? Okay, thank you. It's 9:29. We'll stop here. Thank you very much. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.